and welcome to The Winning Post, powered by Delton Casinos in association with the Serum Institute of India. I'm Mandira Lalwani. First up, a look at the Mumbai season and what it holds for us as all the professionals and the entire racing fraternity has made its way right back.
After Bangalore and Pune, all racing roads now lead to Mumbai to the Mahalaxmi racecourse. The Mumbai racing season starting November 16 promises, like every year, to be an action-packed affair.
Well, it's also a very exciting time when the winter season begins because it's actually the start of the new year. It's the start of the racing year, which begins in November and goes all the way till the end of October. You're racing in Calcutta, you're racing in Bangalore, you're racing in Bombay, you're racing in Hyderabad as the four major centers where your big regional classics are being held. That's the number one reason why it's such an exciting time, the winter season for the horses as well as the owners, professionals and trainers. You've got your Indian classics, 5 classics. Well, your first 4 will be run during the winter season, and that's the Indian 1000 guineas, the 2000 guineas, the McDowell signature, Indian Derby and of course the Oaks. These 4 are extremely important and the most prestigious races in Indian racing. Taking a look at the horses, I think Malesh Naredu holds the key this year to what is going to be a super derby. Be safe. We haven't seen him yet during the monsoon. We'll see him now at the start of the season, and I think he's the horse that everyone has to beat. I think he's head and shoulders above everybody else, and following in his footsteps, I think over the Derby trip is going to be Malaysia's second horse, Quasar, and I think Malesh holds a very strong hand in this year's Indian Derby. You can never count a Pacey Shroff stable out, and he's always going to come in with a strong set of horses because he's patient, he gives them time and he allows them to mature. They peak during the winter, and that's basically what we can expect from his horses. The other exciting thing about the winter is that you get to see the 2-year-olds race for the first time, and while some have had a run or two in Pune, the fact of the matter is that it's now where that million-dollar question is answered. Every owner buys a 2-year-old with the objective of owning a classic winner, and generally, more often than not, you can tell after the very first start or even after the very first gallop, as soon as the jockey's feet are out of the stirrups, whether or not you've bought the right horse. The big race, of course, is going to be the Poonawalla Breeders Multi-Million. That is the most important juvenile race in the country, and you've got a number of good horses who will target the 1400-meter trip in February. We go then to the Indian Turf Invitation Weekend, which will happen in Bombay this year, and there's plenty to look forward to.
Time now for a quick break here. When we return, we'll take you straight to Singapore, so stay with us. Thank you for staying with us here on The Winning Post, powered by Delton Casinos in association with the Serum Institute of India. Time now to take you to Singapore and talk about the Singapore Gold Cup, where War Affair is perhaps the only horse in racing history in Singapore to bid for the Triple Crown in a calendar year. This talented horse is trained by Alvin Tan, will be ridden by Danny Beasley. Let's have a look at his prospects.
Gates are back. They're racing in the Longchamp Singapore Gold Cup.
The Triple Crown holds a special importance in horse racing the world over. What Wimbledon is to tennis and the World Cup is to cricket, the Triple Crown is to thoroughbred horse racing. And winning all 3 races is considered the greatest accomplishment of a thoroughbred racehorse. Inspired by the US Triple Crown, the series in Singapore is no different in stature and prestige than its worldwide counterparts. The Triple Crown in Singapore consists of the Kranji Mile, progressing to the Raffles Cup and lastly the Singapore Gold Cup. All three races are Group 1 events for 3-year-olds and above, held 3 weeks apart and are run over the turf over 1,600, 1,800 and 2,200 meters respectively. The stamina-sapping Gold Cup is considered to be the toughest hurdle, and standing as a testament to the toll it takes on its participants is the fact that no horse has managed to win all 3 legs of the Singapore Triple Crown Series in a calendar year. The big news coming out of Singapore is that they might finally have a Triple Crown winner in this year's running in the form of a horse named War trained by Alvin Tan. The horse holds an impeccable record of 11 wins from 15 starts. He has been beaten just once in his previous 6 starts in the Group 3 Committee's prize over 1,600 meters where he ran second.
Gates back, racing in the Panasonic Kranji Mile.
The 4-year-old brown gelding has already won the first 2 legs last month, the Group 1 Kranji Mile where he scored a facile victory.
Lazar's going to be handy as well. Goodman out wide trying to sneak across. They were followed by Daniel in the early stages. War Affair a shade wide, but he's going to be ridden fairly handy here. Flax being restrained back. Cash Luck out wider. Johnny Guitar. Magneto sneaks away by 3, but here comes War Affair beginning to stalk him as they sweep into the straight. They were followed by City Lad. Goodman finishes on, followed by Wild Geese, but War Affair raced up on the outside of Magneto and went to the lead. At the 200 metre mark, War Affair gets away a length and a half over Magneto. Running on is Daniel down the outside. Johnny Guitar gets out late, but War Affair races away in the Panasonic Kranji Mile. He's a superstar, War Affair, and he wins it by a length and a half.
And follows that up with an emphatic win in the Group 1 Raffles Cup.
Away safely. Over on the inside, Peaceful Warrior commences quite strongly and Goodman goes up to take him on for the early lead. City Lad Flax are just off them. Lazar picking up some ground, step it up, caught out wide. Tara Alexandra Palace, Knights Command, Flax in behind a wall of horses. Trapea's headed the rest, but into the stretch in the Raffles Cup. 400 metres to go and Goodman is the leader. Now Beasley let rip with War Affair. He's out in the middle. He's running on very strongly. They've dropped off, step it up. Then Lazar, City Lad, Peaceful Warrior, Johnny Guitar, but War Affair breezed by Goodman inside the final 200 metres, battling away strongly as Step It Up with a Triple Crown. Dream is alive. War Affair is going to thrash them in the Raffles Cup. War Affair for Danny Beasley wins it by 5. He's down over Goodman.
Phenomenal. Just tell us what you're thinking right now.
Just very excited at the moment, and my head is still spinning. And because with the margin he won, it's really sure that he's a very good horse.
What are you going to do from now to the Gold Cup?
And because of the Gold Cup, I worry that of the weight he carried, like maybe he will be carried 58, that's what I concern, And we'll just do what we need to do for him, we'll still prep him, and then we'll give him a little bit of break.
He's like, I've said it so many times now, that he's the best horse I've rode up here, and he makes your job easy. Like, as I said, I never ride him too pretty, I ride him just safe, because I feel he's got so much quality, and he loves using his big stride, and he loves to be able to go when he wants to go. So you've got to be able to ride him in a spot where you can just keep him in control, not really take control off him, but just harness him and you just enjoy the ride, really.
And he seems very sensible, because he doesn't do anything till you really just, he seems to know when it's time to go.
Yeah, he does. As soon as he starts to turn in that home straight, he starts to build, and you just sort of hold him together and just wool, mate, wool, until it's time to hit the button. He's only got one bad habit, and that's hanging in when he's running past him. He likes to find that rail, so, but he's running past him that quick. That's how he quickens up. He quickens up when he's laying in a bit, so it's hard to sort of take that away from him. You just got to keep him going as straight as possible.
And another victory on Sunday would make him the first horse in local racing history to complete the treble in a calendar year. Despite carrying the top weight of 58 kgs on his back for the $1.35 million race over 2,200 meters, the New Zealand-bred stayer, with jockey Danny Beasley on the saddle, will likely start as favourite in a field that will feature 18 runners. He will be stepping up to the 2,200 meter trip for the first time in his career, and the only chink in his armour seems to be the fact that he tends to drift out towards the railing. Expectations are riding high, and the horse and his connections are under tremendous pressure. But whether he wins the Triple Crown or not The race promises edge-of-the-seat action down to the wire.
Thrash them in the Raffles Cup. War Affair for Danny Beasley wins it by 5. He's down over Goodman.
We're going to slip into a quick break here on the Winning Post. When we come back, we talk about the Europe flat racing season, so stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching The Winning Post, powered by Delton Casinos in association with the Serum Institute of India. Now, Europe has had a very significant flat racing season, and it's time now for us to bring you the highlights from it.
The European flat racing season is a collection of possibly the most prestigious races in the world of horse racing. European racing has set the bar that other racing countries try and match up to. Year after year, champions are born and raced on the hallowed turfs of Ascot, North Shore, Haydock and Newmarket amongst others. And the racing season that went by was no different. As the calendar turned and the month of May dawned, the racing action began with the Kipco 2000 Guineas, where Might of Thunder, trained by Richard Hannon, nosed out Kingman at the post to take home the first classic of the European flat racing season. That race set the pace for the remainder of the season, promising thrilling racing action through and through.
With Charm Spirit, Kingman has ended up in that far side group with the Grey Gatsby. They run downhill and into the dip. Australia and Turmoil stand side with Shifting Power over on the far side. Nuso Canarius, and here's Kingman exploding for the far side group. Kingman's come through to lead that group with Might of Thunder Australia under the near side rail. Might of Thunder drifting over Australia and Kingman. They're wide across the course. Kingman, Might of Thunder dives, and I think won the Guineas.
In June, the action shifted to Epsom Downs for the Investec Derby Festival with the Epsom Oaks and the Epsom Derby. In the Oaks, Tagruda beat the favourite Marvelous in this battle of the fillies to set herself up as the hot favourite for the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe.
First 5 or 6 furlongs, Regarde is one of the first to begin. A Nipa on the outside. Volume is challenged by Tagruda, and Tagruda, the Pretty Polly winner, takes it up from Volume in second. Tarfasha third. Itimel beginning a run down the outside in the all blue of Godolphin, worn by Kieran Fallon. Tagruda leads the way entering the final furlong. Tagruda by 3 lengths. Volume, Tarfasha giving chase in Sheila and Itimel, but Tagruda is too good and wins the Oaks in the hands of Paul Hannigan in the colours of Sheikh Hamdan Al Maktoum. Tie for second. Volume in Sheila running a big race.
The Epsom Derby, the richest and most prestigious race in Britain, saw Australia, trained by Aidan O'Brien and ridden by Joseph O'Brien, sail to victory, handing his master his 3rd consecutive victory in the race after Camelot in 2012 and Ruler of the World in 2013.
Part of the race, Kingston Hill in a good position. Our channel is possibly the leader in the yellow and the black. Kingston Hill on the right, on the left is Australia. They look like fighting it out with a furlong and a half left to go, and Australia takes over from Kingston Hill. Romsdale is back in 3rd place, then Arod, but it's Australia that's kicked a length and a half clear. Kingston Hill is battling on. Australia from Kingston Hill, born to win the Derby, his day of destiny. Australia wins from Kingston Hill in second, back in 3rd Romsdale.
And as the warm rays of the summer sun spread across the UK, it was time for the June meeting at Royal Ascot. In the St James's Palace Stakes, which saw the rivalry between Toronado and Dawn Approach come to a head in 2013, had another pair in the 7-horse lineup this year who would battle it out. Kingman, saddled by John Gosden, and Night of Thunder from Richard Hannon's yard were facing off for the 3rd time this year, with each having won a race. And this rematch between the two ended with Kingman being declared the ruler of Royal Ascot as he took up the running in the final furlong, proving beyond a doubt that he is the king of the 3-year-olds. For trainer John Gosden, this was a maiden win in the St James's Palace Stakes, as well as for jockey James Doyle.
Get across, drop in, get some cover as they set off in this weighted St James's. Burning down the outside, but Night of Thunder has quickened away on the rail. It's Night of Thunder on the far side. Kingman blasting down the outside. Here it is. It's the rematch. Kingman the near side of Night of Thunder. Kingman comes swooping by Night of Thunder. He is all class. Kingman wins from Night of Thunder in 3rd outstrip, then War Command.
Kingman continued his domination as he then landed the Sussex Stakes at the glorious Goodwood Festival.
as they jump off. Toronado to the outside. Darwin is the one that goes on under Joseph O'Brien from Toronado. Kingman still last of the vote. Now here it comes. Here comes the burn-up. Richard Hughes on Toronado. He presses the button. Darwin on the fence. Can Kingman get back to them? He's now being asked to engage by James Doyle inside the final furlong. Toronado from Darwin. Kingman now exploding down the outside, and here he comes. He kicked and he killed. Kingman wins. Brilliant from Toronado, and Darwin outstripped last of the four.
After his superlative win in the Epsom Derby, Australia once again made his master proud, handing him his second victory after declaration of war in 2013 in the Juddmonte International.
And away they go. Australia probably jumps out just last as they make their way through the first furlong. Mukadram, Kingfisher on the right, Shamie Heffernan in the white cap. It looks like he's going to fill this pacemaker role. Mukadram is very keen early on, and Paul Hannigan will be grateful. Here comes Joseph O'Brien on Australia down the near side. Australia quickening up well to take over, followed through by the Grey Gatsby inside the final furlong. Australia by 2 lengths to Telescope, chased all the way by the Grey Gatsby, but it's Australia, the Derby winner, who strides clear of the Grey Gatsby. A good horse becomes a great horse at York. Australia wins the Juddmonte International.
The Bedford Sprint Cup at Haydock Park provided the stage for the Dr. Cyrus Poonawalla-owned Gordon Lord Byron a chance to become the only horse since Be Friendly to take home this contest 2 years running. However, it was not to be, as G4 snatched victory from Gordon Lord Byron in the dying meters of the race, denying him his chance at history.
Heading over towards this near side rail track by Gordon Lord Byron, as Stair racing down the centre of the racecourse. Gordon Lord Byron bidding to follow up last year's win, leads again. In second place, Music Master, Soul Power with work to do. G4's out in the clear, and Pearl Secret trying to deliver challenges as well. Gordon Lord Byron is out in front. G4's down the centre in the pale blue. Between the pair is Music Master, G4, Gordon Lord Byron, and it is G-Force who proves too strong. G-Force!
In the last of the 5 classics of Britain, Kingston Hill delivered Roger Varian and Andrea Azzani's first classic victory as he stayed strongly to land the St. Leger Stakes.
Tuscany, however, is going up with him and past him. Settling into third place there is Kingston Hill, and Snow Sky thrusting late. Over on the far side is Windshare, who's packing a late punch. Kingston Hill edging left-handed, comes through and takes over from Romsdale. Kingston Hill just in front, and Kingston Hill is going to win the Ladbroke St. Leger. He wins by a length and a half from Romsdale. Snow Sky was third, then Windshare, Marzocco.
And winding down the season was the British Champions Day, which saw the Tom Hogan-trained globetrotter Gordon Lord Byron adding another thrilling victory to his kitty. He took home the Champion Sprint Stakes, and this victory at Ascot made his owner possibly the only Indian to have won at Ascot since independence.
They slow out as they jump away, and Marek wasn't the best away. Fast out on Saija from Intibar, gathering power on the far side on Saija, getting across here. Kieran Fallon knows Tropics and Eaton Forever out wide inside the final furlong. It's Tropics and Jack Dexter, these two battling on. Tropics just ahead. Gordon Lord Byron is charging through a gap and will nail them all. Gordon Lord Byron, where did he come from? And he's one going away.
At the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, last year's winner Trev was back in contention in a 20-horse field which included Tagruda. Attempting to become the only horse since 1978 to win the race 2 years running after alleged accomplished the feat in 1977-78. For Trev, this race was a make or break, since she was written off in many quarters after 3 successive defeats, especially the Prix Vermeil where she ran 4th. And Trev made no mistake as she returned to her brilliant best with a performance that oozed class and flair, becoming the first horse in 36 years to win back-to-back, as she sailed clear of the opposition, crossing the post with 2 lengths to spare over second-place finisher Flintshire, while Tagruda was in third, a length and a quarter behind.
Down to the start, but he's in now, so 2,400 metres, this fascinating race, away they go for the Arc de Triomphe. A huge roar from the crowd as Goldchip is the final one to leave the starting gates. Ruler of the World is the leader. This is the home straight in the Arc de Triomphe, and it's still Montveron, the pacemaker, in front. Trev, look to the left. Avenir Certain is coming there. Ruler of the World behind those. Tagruda down the centre, but Trev, look at her. She's stormed through to the lead now with 200 metres to go. Avenir Sertan into second. Togruta down the centre in third place. Trevor's in front by 2 lengths. Is she going to win a second arc? Flinches after in second. Togruta behind those. She's done it. Trev back to her best, has won the arc again.
October provided a scintillating finish to the season in Europe, setting the bar ever higher and setting the stage for the much-awaited 2015 season.
That's all we have for you on this episode of The Winning Post. Remember, if you've missed anything, you can always catch it on our YouTube channel. Remember to follow Mohit Lalwani on Twitter for your usual tips and, of course, like us on Facebook. And until we see you next time, may the horse be with you. Goodbye.